Well, of course, small countries have to work with different qualities than bigger, powerful nations. So we have to trust in cooperation and being very talented in maneuvering in the global international world order. For small countries, for example, defending the rule-based international order is crucial to make sure that we can cope in this environment where, unfortunately, today big powers want to also perform with their strength. So it's very different to lead smaller nation, but then we can use different kind of tools to work with other nations as well. Well, I think we have to look at the soft power or the way we work in two angles. First is the international angle, as I mentioned. We want to rely and protect and safeguard the rule-based international order, but then this also reflects the way we do things internally within our country, in our political system. For example, Finland, because we have a long border with Russia, an aggressive neighbor currently attacking Syrian nation Ukraine, we have to make sure that when it comes to our foreign and security policy, we have consensus and we can build trust among institutions, but also political parties. So when we look at how Finland does things internally, we want to highlight consensus, finding cooperation between different actors. And this is also the way we do things when it comes to the crucial matters of the future, like sustainable development, climate targets, and also education and, for example, our R&D funding. So we have history, long history with cooperation and trying to find consensus where it's most critical, because we know that if we are not in together with this, then we will face outside forces that might not want to safeguard us, but actually trying to build division among citizens and among institutions in the country. So I will answer now the same way I answered before the elections. My biggest worry then, and right now, is actually the withdrawal of US from the international rule-based order and the withdrawal of US from the institutions that we have shared together. And we have already seen actions of this. The US withdrawal from the Paris Agreement, withdrawal from the UN Human Rights Council, withdrawal from the WHO. And now we are seeing these statements or maybe even threats of withdrawal from US from the European soil, from Ukraine, and that also means from the cooperation within NATO. And of course this is worrying because we have relied for so long of the value-based leadership of US defending democracy, international orders, rule of law, and all the things that we value and believe in. So of course it is very worrying scenario if US will turn into a power that uses strength and not the international cooperation that we have been building together for so long. And that only highlights the importance of Europe being more strong, independent, having strategic autonomy on the fields that is crucial to our citizens' safety and for the safety architecture of the whole continent. So we have to be more autonomous when it comes to, of course, defense, energy, but also fields like new technologies that will be in the future, the core things that will keep society safe or make sure that they are not safe. So we have to be more strong together as Europe. I think one reason is that Europe itself and European countries think that they are actually weaker than they really are. We have many strengths. We are one of the world's biggest economy together. We have been building this cooperation forever, for decades, and we have created also a very unique institution, the European Union, where we work together and also with our trusted partners. So I think we are more strong than we give ourselves credit for, but now we have to step up and make sure that we are using our strengths and not diminishing the power that we have. If we don't believe in our own strength and if we don't boost, for example, the help and protection for Ukraine, then we will be left aside. So I think we have the means, now we have to take the action to make sure that we are more safe and secure together. It hasn't actually been that long that I visited Singapore, for example. I was there just late last year, and we were discussing about the role of smaller countries, and we were discussing, of course, the situation in Europe and the security architecture that is now, unfortunately, cracking. And I think the worry of smaller countries are very similar, looking from different sides of the world. We all want to rely that there are the rules that protect us against our bigger neighbors and the bigger powers. So I think there's also a lot of things we can work and do together, and we can work in many fields. For example, what Finland and Singapore have in common is the education, high education system, high quality of handling technology and creating new ones. So I think there are a lot of similarities and a lot of things where we can work together, and that goes to many countries in the world. So I think we should deepen our cooperation wherever we can with the democratic countries that we share values, and then hopefully build a better and stronger world that doesn't only rely on hard power, but also the soft powers that we are well known of. Well, of course, we want to know how we are coping compared to other countries, and I think Nordic countries always perform quite well, and there are many reasons for that. We have been building our welfare societies for a long time, for decades, and that has also helped us to build that kind of deeper trust within the societies. That shows in these different kind of indexes, but also helps us cope with different crisis situations. When I led the government and our country to pandemic, a war in Ukraine, energy crisis, and our entering to NATO, I noticed that the sense of trust that we have within our society actually helped us to cope with these very difficult situations. But you cannot build that kind of deep trust within a society in a few years. You need to build it gradually, and it all starts with recognition of individual citizens' rights and making sure that different stages that we all have in our lives, people can feel protected, that they are safeguarded, that they will have possibilities in their lives even though they face hardships. So that kind of deep trust within one's country also helps countries to perform well in these indexes, but also helps us to deal with different kind of situations and crises. Well, I think especially today, when we see these hard power countries raising their heads, questioning the international rule-based order, I think it's very important to talk about also soft powers and talk about the matters that actually affect people's lives. So I think these kind of places where we can have that interaction and discussions to understand each other and understand also these kind of aspects of our societies are vitally important. And thank you very much for inviting me here.